By now, you've probably become accustomed to the concept of me hitting the millionaire status in the various games I play, and today will be no different. Today we're going to be playing the game Oblivion, exploring the world of Cyrodiil, finding the most efficient methods of making money. In Fallout 4, it took me 27.5 hours, and in Skyrim, it took 23 hours, and I was 100% sure that Oblivion would be way easier than those two, due to the wacky and broken nature of the game. But I'm going to be honest, my original plan for this video didn't exactly work out, and Oblivion kinda kicked my ass more than I expected it to, and things took a while before they started to work out. So anyways, with that being said, today we'll be visiting the most iconic Bethesda game that rocketed the Elder Scrolls series to the mainstream. Today we'll be asking the age-old question: how long does it take to become a millionaire in Oblivion? Now, before I start, I'd like to simply lay down the ground rules once again. We won't be using any cheats, glitches, or exploits to achieve the millionaire status, which means we'll be using conventional means of making money. And please, before you comment about console commands, yeah, trust me, you're not the first person and you won't be the last. There is a grey line when it comes to the term exploits that's somewhat subjective, and I would say that we do smear that line in this video, but let's be fair, Oblivion is a completely broken game and has a ton of glitches and exploits that just exist around every corner. Eventually, naturally, you do stumble into these during gameplay.
I like what I see.
But anyways, let's begin. At the start of the game, I decided to play as an Imperial once again, as Imperials have the best vendoring across the races in the Elder Scrolls games. The attribute modifiers we receive are pretty skewed towards personality, and we get a plus 10 in both Mercantile and Speechcraft, which will obviously be super important for the sake of this video. I choose to play as a woman once again, but this time it actually has a benefit, being that of having 40 willpower instead of 30, which will be useful for the magic we use in this playthrough. I'd like to take a second to appreciate the amazing character design that Oblivion offers. Man, it's so beautiful. The Emperor walks in, recognizes us, and we proceed as usual. Once prompted, I select the Mage Star sign for the juicy extra 50 Magicka, which again is super important for spellcasting and pretty pivotal towards Destruction later in the game, which we'll be primarily using for combat, as Destruction is, give or take, the easiest combat spell to level in Oblivion.
You chose a... I'm just warning!
You bad lad!
We continue through the tutorial and eventually get prompted for a class. The 7 major skills we'll be using are as follows: Alchemy, Conjuration, Destruction, Illusion, Mercantile, Restoration, and Speechcraft. The aim of this challenge run is obviously to make money, but before we can do that, we need to achieve a high player level. Having major skills that are easy to level makes leveling up so much simpler. Alchemy is one of the easiest skills in the game to max out, as you can combine almost anything in Oblivion to make the simplest of potions. Conjuration, Destruction, Illusion, and Restoration are all super easy to level too, as in this game, magic abilities are leveled not by difficulty of spell cast or damage done, but by instead the number of spell casts that have an active effect take place. So if I was to fire a firebolt into the sky, it would do nothing. But if I made a destruction spell that damaged myself, yeah, that would level me up. Mercantile and Speechcraft are again self-explanatory, as we need them for selling goods and making profit. Naturally, we will level these up as we play the game. Anyways, we witness the Emperor get assassinated, and with that, we escape the sewers and head straight towards the arena. The arena is always a good way to make quick gold at the start of the game. It's fun, and is a neat introduction to basic combat in Oblivion. Obviously, being the god gamer that I am, I was able to breeze through the entirety of the arena in 1 hour and 53 minutes, and before long, I was the Grand Champion. With 5,290 gold in my purse, I left the arena to see...
Wow, you're the Grand Champion. I saw your fight against the Grey Prince. You're the best. Can I follow you around? I won't get in the way.
Follow me.
Golly, you're the best.
My adoring fan. This guy is gonna follow me around the entire playthrough, so you better get used to him. Now is a good time to mention how selling items works in Oblivion and how it's different to Skyrim or Fallout 4. In Skyrim and Fallout 4, vendors will have a restricted amount of money, meaning I can sell 600 gold's worth of items before the vendor runs out and I can't sell any more. But in Oblivion, if a vendor has 600 gold, that means that's how much they can buy an individual item for. So I can sell them 1000 items for a max of 600 gold each, resulting in each vendor technically having an infinite pocket filled with gold. My original plan for this video was to just make alchemy potions once again, but potions in this game do not sell for a lot of money, especially potions that the player makes. You can sell a potion for somewhere between 17 to 45 gold, and that's about it. Sure, I could do this to become a millionaire, and it would work, but it would be incredibly boring and it would take a long time. So we'll be pursuing a different technique, but for now, we can use alchemy for leveling up, which is again still important. So now instead it was time to do some setup. So first thing first, we closed the Kvatch Oblivion gate and helped rescue the trapped survivors from within, giving us the title of the Hero of Kvatch, before joining the Thieves Guild to unlock the ability to buy lockpicks and fence off stolen goods, which is always a good thing to do in a playthrough like this. Then I did the most important part of this entire challenge, being that of joining the Mages Guild. In order to join the Mages Guild, I had to head to each major city and get a recommendation from each guild manager, so to speak. The quests here are pretty fun and memorable, like finding Jaskar for the Bruma Mages Guild, only to find he's casted an invisibility spell on himself as an epic prank to troll the other members of the guild.
Ready to
Yes.
just
I know. Oh, wait. Oh, what the fuck? He was there the entire time? Holy sh**, dude. No way.
Good day.
Oh my god! Anyways, after a while, we finally got into the Mages College and unlocked two very important abilities. Ability 1 is to enchant armor and weapons with custom spell effects, and Ability 2 is the availability to craft and create our own custom spells. This is important because 4 of my 7 major skills are attached to magic spells of some kind, and we can abuse the leveling system of magic skills by creating low magicka cost spells that can be spammed over and over again. For example, I created a conjuration spell that summons a scamp for 2 seconds. The scamp spawns in, dies, and it only costs 3 magicka, meaning I can spam the spell over and over and slowly level up my conjuration, effectively leveling up my character. Wait, how much does that get up my conjuration each time? So if I put my arrow here. That was 2. Oh, this is pretty fast. We also made 2 other important spells, a Fortify Security spell that increased my lockpicking by 100, allowing me to easily break into any and all locks, and a Charm spell that also increased my Mercantile by 100 again, allowing me to charm and boost my stats at the same time. This results in all vendors liking me and giving me almost always the best deals when I decide to haggle. At the end of day 1, I had 5,900 gold. I was level 12, I had finished the entire arena quest line, joined the Mages Guild and Thieves Guild, and most importantly set myself up to start power leveling tomorrow. The goal for now? Level up as fast as I can whilst forwarding some of the quest lines in the game to unlock a few things here and there. So the leveling grind begins. Constantly, I spend the entirety of day 2 just spamming various spells to increase my player level, all while completing various quests throughout the Thieves Guild. First up is Conjuration, as it's one of the easiest skills to max out in the game. Like mentioned before, I was just summoning scamps over and over again because leveling in magic is again tied to the amount of spells casted. All I had to do was summon a scamp for hours on end before reaching level 100. I also joined the Dark Brotherhood for a very specific reason down the line, but I also enjoyed revisiting some classic quests like Who Done It, which is basically the most iconic quest in all of Oblivion. She's been murdered.
Have you heard? Someone's been murdered. One of us.
What? Where the player is situated in a house filled with 5 random strangers, and you're tasked with killing all 5 without letting the others realize.
It's not safe to be alone. I certainly don't want to be the 3rd victim.
Eventually, I got summoned to Fort Farragut by the Black Hand himself, which is the whole reason why I joined the Dark Brotherhood. Here we can find a barrel filled with 10 poisoned apples, which I can unlock using my security skill that I mentioned earlier. These 10 apples will constantly respawn every 3 days, and they sell for 300 gold each, which is a neat little profit whilst I'm still power leveling. A lot of people do actually ask me if I dive into these millionaire videos with any plan or guide, so to speak, and the answer is always no. I know that reaching the millionaire status in these games is possible, as they're open-ended RPGs of course. It's just a matter of discovering the journey before reaching the destination. Plus, I have my Twitch chat help me find the right methods for efficiently making money, so yeah, that helps.
Blue team. Victor from the blue team.
Leave the arena now and rest. You've earned it. It's around about here that I also decided to start the Shivering Isles DLC, as I personally love it to bits. Again, I'm still power leveling my magic skills, but I can also still make some quick money while I do so. The Shivering Isles introduces 2 new armor sets, and they're really easy to obtain. Amber and Madness armor are constructed using their corresponding ingredients, which can be found in various caves across the DLC. So for a good while, I was delving into these random depths to find both Amber and Madness ore, to then head into town to have it constructed into armor, and then I'd sell it to the exact same vendor for a bit of money. At the end of day 2, I'd spent over 12.5 hours playing the game. I was level 20, with just under 60k gold to my name. My original plan was to reach the millionaire status faster than Skyrim and Fallout 4, but this was slowly fading away as every minute passed. Realistically, I wasn't making good money just yet. I had just under 11 hours left to achieve it, and it wasn't looking good. Hopefully tomorrow a new plan would surface. So first things first, I finally came to the conclusion on how I would make my money, but first I would need to hit somewhere around level 25 so that the armor set of both Glass and Daedric would finally spawn in. So I went and forced my alchemy to level 100 by rinsing local farms of all their goods. I was a thief, but a learned thief in the arts of brewing the most ridiculous potions from corn and carrots? Anyways, I sold these potions off for again a neat little profit and was quickly able to achieve 100 alchemy by 13 hours and 40 minutes. At level 100 alchemy, you unlock the ability to make potions from 1 ingredient, which again is a good money making technique, but again, it is just way too slow and honestly is really boring, so we're gonna do something else. It's around about here that I started to notice that bandits were spawning with glass armor and Daedric weapons, which is what I wanted, which means that we can finally swing our plan into motion. Various caves, tombs, and forts around Oblivion will respawn enemies every 3 days, meaning we can clear out a cave, pick up all the various goodies that the human foes drop, and then sell them off for a neat profit. At first, I was clearing out the Iliad ruins known as Vilverin, which is right outside the Imperial City sewers. The enemies here are armed with mostly light armor, and it was good for my build. I took most of the armor back to the Mages Guild and fortified it with the Feather effect, allowing me to hold even more armor in one trip, effectively making each run have a higher gold capacity in profit. Eventually though, I realized the enemies were all spawning in light armor and set about finding some better ruins with more better equipped bandits. That's when I found 2 locations, or more importantly 2 forts. Fort Strand, just east of Anvil, and Fort Blueblood, just across the river and east of Leowyn. Both these locations have a strong respawnable force of around 6 to 8 bandits each, that all spawn with mostly heavy armor. This is obviously, at my current level, going to be Daedric and Ebony armor, which sells for a pretty penny. They usually are also equipped with Glass and Daedric weapons too, which also sell for a good amount. Basically at this point we need to find armor and weapons that are actually worth carrying, meaning anything with a high gold to weight ratio being of utmost importance. Things like Daedric armor, Glass armor, Daedric weapons, enchanted items, and any dagger of any kind are always worth picking up. I would haul the various pieces of equipment over to Morvain's Peacemakers, which is ran by Varel Morvain, which is the best store in the game situated in Anvil. Without even a question, this is the best vendor you can find, as he has a total of 1,700 gold, meaning I can sell each item for a max of 1,700 gold. And he also has a low mercantile skill, which with the use of my charm spell, lets me haggle him for an 87% selling price, meaning I can sell any item in the game for 87% of its original value up to 1,700 gold each. This is peak efficiency. So I would run to both forts, clear them out, grab any items of value, fly back to Varel and sell them for a pretty profit. Sometimes in Fort Strand, a high level boss would spawn, and man, let me tell you, this guy can spawn with some lucrative gear.
Oh, it was a fight you won.
It's a fight you'll get.
Where you going, bitch?
Ha!
Oh, what the fuck? No wonder he was running. He had like 20 grand on him. Anyways, by the end of day 3, 17 hours and 49 minutes in, I had made over 500,000 gold. Tomorrow would be the blessed day where I'd reach 1 million. It was just a question of how long it would take. In the other 2 previous Millionaire videos, I made my profits from selling various liquid goods to the people of the realm. In Fallout 4, I sold off a rare commodity known as purified water, resupplying the land with a fresh supply of safe hydration. In Skyrim, I brewed en masse a bunch of paralysis potions and once again, supplied it to the entire world. However, this time around, I was slaying my fellow humans. I wasn't supplying the world with anything but death and sorrow. I told myself it was all justified by the notion that these bandits were bad people, but I didn't know that, and that's not why I was there. Good people or not, I wanted their valuable goods, and through hours of turmoil and hard work, I was on my way. 20 hours had passed, and through repeating the same trip over and over again, I had finally reached the doorstep of that fabled 1 million gold status. But I wanted to get my last gold in a non-conventional way, as is tradition on this channel. Throughout all my adventures and all my money making, one man stood beside me, cheering me on. No matter what deed I committed or what crime I faced, he was there to support me and keep my feet on the ground, but he himself possessed something that I needed. And saying goodbye to one of my best friends. And with that, I finally reached the 1 million gold status. There it is, chat. 1,000,001 gold in 20 hours and 12 minutes. It didn't even take that long. I think this was the fastest challenge we've ever done. Was it worth it? I lost a friend. Someone that meant a lot to me. And, honestly, you know, you guys don't even understand. We were gonna get married tomorrow, but sometimes you gotta lose the person you love. Ah, fuck it. It was a long run, and honestly, I really enjoyed how unique this method was for making money. And again, honestly, I just had a blast giving myself a random reason to play Oblivion again. In order to celebrate, I did the hidden door glitch to get to the end of the game, where we eventually saw Martin defeat the Daedric forces in battle. Chat, say hi to YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, there will be more content to come real soon. If you enjoyed the video, then I'd suggest watching the other Millionaire videos on the channel and even consider subscribing. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.